And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, droids, all you fancy-looking Ki-Adi-Mundi coneheads. And don't worry, we didn't forget about those creepy-looking Plagueis people lurking in the shadows. Welcome to the 5v5 Grand Arena Experience, ladies and gentlemen. We are back inside of the right way to play Grand Arena, not that 3v3 trash. Get it out of here! We are back in the 5v5 Grand Arena season, and things are already cooking up inside of the Hala table, my friends. We got a lot to talk about. We are 2 rounds into the brand new season. And let's just say there's a lot of great counters that you need to have on your tactile scanners to execute on your opponents. So let's get into the action. And as always, if you want to see these Grand Arena highlights, you know what to do. Leave that like. Let me know down below on all those beautiful thoughts. And let's get the show on the road. We got a 2-4-1 Grand Arena special today, my friends. And the first Grand Arena we have is up against Jim Savage. People, let's just say in this Grand Arena right here, the first Grand Arena of this season, the 1 of 2 for today's video, I made a little bit of an oopsie, but we turned an oopsie into a doopsie. I don't know what that means, but you're going to have to figure it out. Our opponent, Jim Savage, did great navigating through my defense. However, they dropped 1 battle up against my own Great Mothers. But here's the problem. In regards to their Great Mothers that they had on defense, let's just say I kind of forgot about my Kylo Ren Unmasked. Accidentally left it on defense with Sirjuna and Malicos. And in case you've been sleeping in a cave in Tatooine, Kylo Ren Unmasked, not Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, is an imperative leader right now. Pretty much the only galactic legend that can really handle, besides Master Kenobi, up against Great Mothers. Kylo Ren Unmasked lead is important. I left it on defense. That means we had to get creative. So to start off the Jim Savage Grand Arena, we did Savage Opress versus the Great Mother. People, we were in a desperate situation. If I could not find a window of opportunity to burst through this team of the Great Mothers, we are done. And there are not many Galactic Legends and non-Galactic Legend counters that are out there. Luckily, Savage Opress lead. In case you don't know why we've been using that here and there, Savage Opress with his Omicron paired of Talon's unique ability. When Savage is being hit, you are getting so much Terminator from Savage's Omicron as well as Talon's unique abilities. I just want to try to get as much Terminator as possible in the short amount of time you get up against Great Mothers with the massive amount of damage you're throwing down. Luckily, we got enough Terminator so that Nihilus was able to get his cooldowns reset and get me a quick insta-kill on Morgan Elsbeth. However, everything else went very down under very quickly. However, Morgan Elsbeth being deleted by Nihilus got me off to a good start. So although this was a failure, let's just say it opened up the keys that I need to get that door open and knock them down. Which leads us to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren versus the Great Mothers. So as I said, Kylo Ren Unmasked lead seems to be a vastly superior lead to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. When you're taking down the Great Mothers, you get so much more Terminator, which basically allows you to roll over the Great Mothers, not allowing them to take a turn. However, we didn't have that, so we had to dive into some Night Sister magic ourselves, where we did Superior to Kylo Ren with Night Sister Zombie, with Daka, trying to get as much taunting power from the Night Sister Zombie that we could. Luckily, it bought Superior to Kylo Ren enough time to build up that ultimate charge and let him hit that ultimate, ramping, and eventually, you know how Kylo works, baby. He gets so much damage built up, he just rolls over. So although this was the less than ideal Supreme Leader Kylo Ren route, we knocked down Great Mothers. And we had ourselves a Grand Arena to perform now. And then that leads us to the next battle, Queen Amidala versus Raid Shadow Legends. Here's the thing about Rey, people. She doesn't know what's coming. She acts like she's all high and mighty. But here's the thing. We had Cup. I said Queen Amidala. No, this is Cup, Coruscant Underworld Police versus Rey. Queen Amidala was just mainly there just for pretty much 99% of this battle, but with the Cup Datacron. Are you guys ignoring him? This is the last season. You can use Cup. Have you been using him? If not, you missed out on the Prime Galaxy of Heroes experience. A zero to hero, or is this a hero to God tier status? I don't know. You guys can decide on that. But here UEC, Coruscant Underworld Police, got the final kill on Rey. Is there anything else I need to explain about this battle? No. So you know what? We took the win, and we're going to move on to our next battle, where we had Shorty and the Droids versus Queen. No, this was what? Saw Gerrera. Let me say, I almost forgot about this. This was not really a thing in 3v3 Grand Arena, but if you remember the Grand Arena before 5v5, the real Grand Arena, this was a very common thing. Luckily, it got back on my radar, and we're using it. Shorty, with the support Datacrons that we have right now, is able to build up a nasty nuke with Dark Trooper. And Luthen, if you don't know how to handle him, this is going to be a good solution, at least for this month, until the Datacron goes away. You build up all the buffs, boom, nuke them out of existence. A nice, successful win. Maul versus Kelleran back. All right, people, this is one of my favorite teams in the game. Maul DeLoreans. And here we undermanned it, because that's how we are. We are bold, we are brave, and fortune favors the bold, my friends. Underdog in this lineup, even though they have the Eth Kothkron, they're getting lots of stuns on my people here. Luckily, with Maul DeLoreans, you gotta get this passive cleanse for those who are taunting. So it really works in our favor, allowing us to let Maul just go to town. A little scary at first. Mace Windu was able to get a lucky shatter point disabled, to dispel, I should say, the frenzy that we had on Maul. So we had to kind of wait, but don't worry. Eventually, Maul was able to get cooking, and then once he got those jazz hands going, we were able to churn through the team. People, this is why I try not to use Maul with Lord Vader, because I'd rather get Maul, a great team, and then Lord Vader, an all right team. Two teams, 4-1, Maul is taking it home. When you got a problem, you better call Maul. Bo-Katan versus the Gungans. Very straightforward, my friends. Now that the Gungan Datacron is out of our way, last 5v5, we had the Gungan Datacron. We don't have it anymore. We're going to be seeing a lot of support crons for at least this month be thrown on the Gungans, and then maybe whenever the next set comes up, there'll be something a little bit better. But now we have a little bit more opportunities for Gungan counter. So Bo-Katan, Mandalore slicing through the shield generator. And yeah, is there really much to say? Beskar Mando gets a lot of whistling birds, and we are able to kind of burn through the whole entire enemy team. Nice, straightforward, nothing too complicated with this right here, especially since I did not have Savage and Traya because we had these in front of Great Mothers. We had another opportunity at our disposal. But don't sleep on Gungans. Although we have a little bit more counters now that the Datacron's gone, you don't want to mess around with this team too much. And then the big poo-poo-doo-doo, we had Phoenix versus Reva. Now, folks, in case you don't know, Captain Rex with the Phoenix gang is a fairly, probably the most budget-friendly counter we have to Reva. And there aren't any very special Reva-crons right now. And this was even working versus the Reva-cron. But this had Marok on the Inquisitor team. And based off our initial testing, Marok wasn't really all that special with the Inquisitors. However, we came across an unexpected bug, a super powerful bug in favor of Marok helping out the Inquisitors, where his unique ability, in case you missed, there's a card in the top right-hand corner. Go do your homework on what we discovered. The unique ability is overcharged, overpowered, where anytime your team is cleansing, the enemy team, the Inquisitors, are going to be cleansing as well, which is way beyond what the unique ability of Marok is allowing. Marok only allows Inquisitors to cleanse when Inquisitors are consuming or dispelling the purge on the enemy, not when the enemy is cleansing themselves. And with the Phoenix, we have a lot of cleanses from Captain Rex's basic. Hera's got some cleanses, and unfortunately, even L337 has a cleanse on herself. This basically shut down the Phoenix counter. So CG not being able to test their game cost me the Grand Arena. Cut it, send it home. I'm done. This really ticked me off, but it shows. If you're trying to make sure Phoenix don't roll over Reva, well, Marok's going to be the answer, so keep your eyes peeled. I don't know if they're going to fix it and when they will, but for right now, it's going to be here. And if you're using Phoenix, likely they're going to have a hard time working through a Reva team that has Marok. So let's go on to Grand Arena number 2, my friends, where we had me versus Goku. I don't know if you guys like Dragon Ball Z, but I've been finding it funny how folks have been having a hard time with the new Dragon Ball Z game that came out and having a pretty difficult time versus the Gorilla Vegeta or whatever. Anyways, let me just say this. We were having a good time with this Grand Arena. Our opponent had a few issues on my defense. Number one, they were dropping a lot of battles on the Galactic Legend Leia Organa. That we placed on defense. With the Tankron, Leia is no joke. Leia is a slayer with the tank Datacron, and to make matters worse, they could not clear the Gungans on my back wall. Yeah, so that means I'm going to get a lot more wild knowing that my opponent didn't drop anything, or they couldn't get me a clear. So that means I can drop whatever I want to clear their defense. And they dropped quite a few battles on ships. We don't see it too much, but I'll take it, my friend. So we started off this party getting a little crazy with Shorty and the Droids versus Queen Amidala. Oh! This kind of ticked me off. They did great the last Grand Arena against Saw and Luthen, but here, there was foresight on Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. Queen Amidala was able to get out and try to pull a quick play, giving foresight to Yoda as well as Padawan Obi-Wan. And guess what? When I popped the nuke, I couldn't kill, guess what? Yoda as well as Padawan Obi-Wan. But we got Master Qui-Gon out, and well, I guess that's something. So, nonetheless, a failure, disappointed. We'll come back around and clean that up later, okay? General Anakin Skywalker versus Rey. Rey who? I don't know. People, we had to try to initiate Rey into the Skywalker family. If you want to be a Skywalker, we need to chop off a limb. And let's just say General Anakin Skywalker was not able to provide a sufficient lesson into what it means to be a Skywalker. I thought this was going to be at least... I don't normally use Gas versus Rey, not my favorite counter, but I figured, oh, this is mostly a tank-heavy team. We'll be fine. They don't do that much damage. Well, the problem was between Cal and then, General Kenobi. I couldn't really get the inspiration off of Rey. And because of Five's unique ability getting so much Terminator, when Rey and her team has inspiration, well, their mastery ramps up, and yeah, they kind of nuked out my team. So, yeah, this was a no-go. But you know what? We had... General Skywalker's love of his life, Queen Amidala, get back out there, and more importantly, Queen Amidala's side piece, which is Coruscant Underworld Police. Getting work done again. If General Anakin Skywalker can't do it, Queen Amidala's going to call up her secret boy toy, Coruscant Underworld Police, yet again, delivering the plays we needed to see on this holotable. Getting out there, yeah, who cares about the bajillion damage that Padawan Obi-Wan was able to do? Yet again, Coruscant Underworld Police controlling the field, dominating in every sense of the word. Yeah, was it a Datacron that did this? Yeah, of course. But you know what? Coruscant Underworld Police looked great on that holotable, knocking down the Rey, and boy, oh boy, we are moving along now. The festivities have begun. Next up, we have Dash Rendar versus General Anakin Skywalker. Keeping the Skywalker saga together, folks. I had a bunch of other counters I could use against General Anakin Skywalker, but you know what? I was really concocting something special. We've been messing around a lot, with Dash Rendar and the Mercenaries. And I'm like, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun. Pulling out the Dash Rendar, pulling out Boba Fett's Sign of Django, and let's just say Boba Fett kind of overperformed here. When we got gas down, unfortunately, Boba Fett kind of triggered the sacrifice when he was doing his AoE, and things kind of spun out of control. So Boba Fett's Sign of Django sucked, but in a different way. So yeah, drop battle. But check this out. We then brought in Qui-Gon Jinn versus General Anakin Skywalker. We needed a cleanup, folks, so we brought this in. Haven't been really using Eth Koth on offense, and this is the first time we've had it in 5v5. And my gosh, look at the sheer amount of damage that we're throwing down on this holotable, folks. This is no joke that we have right there. I'm like, holy cow. I know I was goofing around in this gas, but man, maybe we should just do this for the first shot counter. This was so clean, so much damage. And you got Eth Koth taunting to kind of prolong the Qui-Gon Jinn stuff. Man, good stuff. We don't get to use Qui-Gon Jinn too often in my neck of the woods. I'm probably going to use this a little bit more this 5v5 season. The Skywalker saga is going to continue where we had Fennec versus Lord Failure. People, when's the last time we've been doing this? We haven't done this in a hot minute with Fennec. Well, here, I kind of was seeing the perfect storm. We had ourselves Fennec in a 5v5 situation, and we had a boss Datacron. And man, the boss Datacron was doing work. Bosk was pretty much taunting the whole entire time in this combat here. Beskar Mando did absolutely nothing. Just got deleted from doing it, and not even doing anything. Probably should have thrown Zam West on this line, but this is bread and butter standard textbook stuff. But super easy. If Bosk is taunting the whole entire match, man, this is life on easy mode. Being able to nuke out the Royal Guard, boom. Nuking everyone out, boom, boom, boom. Kicking Maul in the balls, getting him off the holotable. Very cool stuff here. I might be doing this a few more times. I don't see Lord Vader too often on defense. People finally got the memo that, unless there's a good Datacron, Lord Vader ain't all that hot. Fennec taking the win. Love these kind of classic counters we got. So then we had Queen Amidala's cleanup crew. And we're bringing out Gideon versus Queen Amidala. So people, in case you missed the memo, again, you might be in a cave in Tatooine. I hear it's a great time to go vacation out there this time of year. Well, here's the thing. They nerfed the Gideon Datacron, where before, if you checked out the 3v3 season stuff that we've done and plenty of other gameplay in the past, Gideon basically had an infinite Terminator loop. He just kept going and going and going and going, constantly using his abilities over and over again. If he got rolling, chances are you were never going to get a turn. Well, now they nerfed it, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work now. Now that it's once every 4 turns, he gets 100% Terminator. It still looks pretty darn good. Not as good as before, but good enough where he still does a lot of damage, getting a lot of overpower, doing massive amount of damage. to the opposing team out there. Not as good as before, but you know what? It still gets the job done, people. And there we go. The back wall has been cracked, people. And here's where we start seeing no more Galactic Legends. We had things ranging from Admiral Trench. We had things ranging to Eth Koth. We had, all the other, the fun little tidbits you tend to see. All those, decent B, some A-grade teams that we had to deal with. So we started nibbling on some of the back wall stuff, where we had, yet again, Maul versus Kellerin Beck. Again, we're making things our way here. We're bringing out Maul. Didn't underman it this time. We brought Magma Trooper, who pretty much just looks nice and pretty here, but that's all you got to do sometimes. You just got to look pretty for the role. Yeah, if you got nuked out, you didn't really contribute much, it's fine. This was a little messier than the last one we did, just the previous Grand Arena that we demonstrated here. Opening up, you just kind of got to wait it out a little bit. The only thing that sucks, the opening plays, and if they get stuns on like Garsax or Super Commando, the Storm Attack from Maul doesn't feel as good, but no worries. The King of Triple Gods Get to Mobile Gaming made the play work. Able to burn through this team. Easy money, people. We're rolling along. Where we had Savage versus the Gungans. So we did not use Savage versus Gungans last Grand because we had to kind of think outside the box and burn through the Great Mothers. Well, here, we're back to brass tacks. Got a little scary, though. Furious first few opening plays, we lost Talon. And that's when I'm like, oh, shoot, that's not good. When I lose Talon, I feel like I'm going to lose the match. Well, luckily, we didn't. We survived, we thrived, and we dominated the Gungan field. We got rid of their shield generator and started boom, boom, boom. Luckily, that support Datacron really ramps up Savage's damage, and we were able to churn through this team. Nice classic counter that we got going on here. But let's keep moving on. Where we have General Grievous versus Star Killer. Oh, this is your memo. I like Star Killer, don't get me wrong. But man, don't be putting this on defense. General Grievous, especially with the stab. The stab is putting a stab to this. He's going to get that bonus turn, open up, being able to get that target lock, and then start the Terminator train. Especially if you're going to be rocketing an attack or Datacron on Grievous. You're going to be multi-tapping the target locks, feeding lots and lots of Terminator. The other opposing team, they basically got no turns. They had the Visas Kron, so you kind of got to pretend you're defusing a bomb. You don't want to kill off Visas too early, or else she would have revived everyone. So we saved her for last. Easy win, people, man. These are beautiful Grievous wins. I love when Grievous gets me nice, clean wins like this. And here we go. We have Saw Gerrera versus Darth Malgus. A little peeved at this here. I did not know what I was really walking into here. I was just kind of, again, because I saw I could really mess around this Grand Arena, I was like, we're going to give it a shot. It was going pretty well for the most part. Malgus couldn't really handle me. But the problem is, I can't land critical hits on Malgus. So I'm not really landing any big hits on him. It's taking me a long time. They had a tank revive Kron, so once you kill off Malgus, he gets revived again. We basically, I could have won if the Datacron wasn't there for Malgus and he didn't revive, but nonetheless, Saw, this just really goes to show how powerful Luthen is with Saw, even Mon Mothma. We talked about this so extensively at this point. Such a great conquest unit. Being able to just survive and thrive, making Saw Gerrera feel good for them. Remember how much I disliked Saw Gerrera, and I was pretty bummed about it. Now, I'm really happy to know I got opportunities of Saw, opportunities of Mon Mothma. Man, I liked it a lot, although still a little mad. The tank Datacron stalled us out. Just barely. We're getting spooky here, people. We had Captain Enoch versus Darth Traya. All right, again, I went into this battle knowing that there's probably a 70% chance I'm going to lose this, but I wanted to give it a shot. I wanted to use my Enoch somewhere. I was really hoping there was going to be a Jabba on defense because I love using my Enoch versus Jabba in 5v5 currently, especially that Night Trooper Datacron that we have right now. Yeah, this was not good. Remember, one of the biggest problems of Enoch that we see is that if an enemy team can roll a turn meter train of some extent, you're just going to get rolled over. Enoch doesn't really have a good way to keep up with all the turn meter gains. When you're hitting Savage and Nihilus is getting all this passive turn meter through all the variety of ways out there, yeah, it's not really looking good, people. Yeah, they ate me up piece by piece. Enoch, I would not do it again. I had a feeling this is kind of working against me. But, I tried it. It was not pretty. But you know what was pretty? Dr. Aphra versus Admiral Trench. I've done this battle a few times, at 3v3, and whatnot. And generally, Aphra, that's kind of a sketchy battle. But man, look at her. She did pretty well. Opening up with the doubt, I think it helps out. If you get doubt on Trench, you shut down his turn meter. If Trench somehow resists the doubt, it's going to be a rough battle, people. But no worries. Got the doubt, and then the massive damage started coming up. Bada bing, bada boom. We got these separatists out of my room. Nice win for Dr. Aphra. I love when Dr. Aphra gets some plays. She's kind of on a roller coaster with me. Sometimes I love her, sometimes I dislike her. I liked her today. Bane versus Saw Gerrera. People, I gave Bane a 20-second budget. No more, no less. Get in there. You better not take more than 20 seconds. Guess what? He did the job. There's not really much to talk about. Again, another way of handling Luthen, if you don't know what you could do, we showed the shorty droids. Bane's pretty good. Bo-Katan's pretty good. There's not really too many super budget counters right now, but hey, Bane gets the job done. Take care of all those buffs. Yeah, easy money. There's not much to talk about here. And then we return to Bo-Katan versus Darth Traya. Folks, again, another battle. I really did not want to use any of my Galactic Legends. As you've seen, we're basically almost done with this Grand Arena, and I challenged myself to work through this defense without a single Galactic Legend. And spoiler alert, we finished this Grand Arena without Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, without Sith Eternal, and without the Lord Vader I have. That right there shows you the true power, the King of Tripoli, God's gift to mobile game, the 8th day of creation, my friends. Bo-Katan, uphill battle against Trey, but again, pushing myself to achieve the challenge of not using a Galactic Legend. Boy, she kind of delivered. Although they were toying with her, they were eating up all of her friends. She was the last one standing, and she had a warrior's death, pretty much taking out as much of the team as possible. We didn't have Beskar Mando. I think I would have had a better chance if I had Beskar Mando, but he needlessly died in my Fennec battle that I had, basically just leaving it down to Darth Nihilus and Sion. Overall, not too bad for not having the ideal team, an ideal matchup here. We'll take it. Phoenix came in, gave us the nice clean cleanup, and then we took care of the Darth Malgus by bringing in my own Darth Malgus, and a full team of my Darth Malgus versus the opposing Darth Malgus that had grit and the tank revive. Took like 4 minutes. Holy cow. And then we go into ships, people, and you know the drill at this point. We had a Leviathan. We brought our Chimera out there. It's the same thing that we're used to. Bada bing, bada boom. Got a little scary out there when they insta-killed my TIE Defender, but at the end of the day, do you know what you're looking at? Yeah, you're looking at me, in case you didn't know. Easy win with my Chimera versus Leviathan. And then we brought in our Negotiator versus the Executor. Loving my Negotiator with the Bad Batch. However, Punishing One's right around the corner. Is it still going to be a counter? Will Negotiator be able to take down Executor or even Finalizer? Well, time's going to tell, people. And then lastly, we had Holdo versus Malevolence. Get the comeuppance out there. Rey hits them with the one AoE. They're done. Folks, look at that. Full clearing Goku's defense. They couldn't full clear mine. And I didn't need any Galactic Legends to get the job done. That just shows you the sheer raw amount of Grand Arena dominance we have. It's so much more fun when you can play without Galactic Legends. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it's just more exciting without using Galactic Legends. Life is too easy when you're using GLs. But when you got to think outside the box and use your other teams, that's where the real fun begins. And that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. One loss because of Capital Games. Thanks a lot. But nonetheless, a lot of good stuff to learn from this. The Grand Arena season has just begun, and hopefully this video gives you a lot of things to look out for, like the Merrick Bug, all these other great counters, things you may have forgotten from previous seasons. And people, if you like this video, let's keep the energy moving for the next Grand Arena streams and the highlights in case you can't miss it. So thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed your stay at the Grand Arena Coliseum, and more importantly, always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today.